Hello everyone. I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a video, however I finally have the time and motivation to get back at this, and so we are kicking things off with a commission video. So this does mean that this particular illustration was commissioned from me, and it was a lot of fun. The client who commissioned this one is a great supporter of my work, and this is not the only commission I have done for them. I greatly appreciate all of their support. Now, kicking things off with the sketch, it was a pretty basic commission they had asked for me. They asked for a confident pose, a character that I've previously drawn for them already, and an outfit that was pretty simple in terms of it being a very regular business attire. The only really interesting part of this commission, which turned out being my favorite part of the commission, was the request for a clown-like special effects makeup. You can only really see it in the sketch and once I begin doing the detailed coloring, so I'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. For now though, I'm just filling in the basic flat colors. I am working on Procreate in this particular video, so it was very easy for me to just fill large areas of a single color. So I fill all of that in pretty quickly, including the flat colors for the face makeup, which is now very visible, and I begin on the shading. Shading is relatively easy for me. I use a lot of airbrush tools when I do digital, a lot of smudging, and thanks to Procreate I have started to add some texture brushes into my drawings. However, the biggest change that you might see in this illustration compared to my old art is that a lot of areas, including the hair, get a pass of a blue-purple airbrush to try and add another layer of depth. I find using pure black for shading something that's already a dark base color doesn't always work out very well, but when you use a color like a blue or a purple in the very back instead of a black, it adds an interesting layer of depth and also a little bit of creative license that just makes the whole thing pop a little bit more. Now, regular shading on this illustration wasn't that hard. The hardest part was, in fact, the makeup. The client had asked for realistic looking special effects makeup, which meant I had to do my very best to make the red marks on her face look like cuts out of her skin and add blood splatter. Now, luckily, Procreate has a lot of pre-made texture brushes that made this part very easy. A lot of the hard work was mostly just adding in the shading and the depth so that it actually looked like a cut and not just messy face paint. Luckily, I do know some special effects makeup skills in real life, and I was able to transfer that over to the digital illustration pretty well. I knew from experience that the most important aspects were making sure it looked like the skin had puckered at the edge of the red marks, and ensure that there was depth to the redness inside the markings so that it wasn't just a flat face paint effect. I used a pre-made textured blood splatter brush from Procreate both within the red markings on the face, as well as lightly around the red markings on the face to add the effect that it did indeed extend outside the quote-unquote clean edges of the face paint. The last few details I added to this illustration were stray hairs so that it looked a little bit more natural than a regular flat illustration, highlights in the eyes, and my latest signature of a small heart in the pupil of the eye. Because this was a full colored commission, I did put a flat colored shape in the background of the illustration and a white outline around the character so that she popped off the background a little bit more. And with that, we have come to the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed. I know I don't do this as often as I should. I really do mean to change that. And while I'm not the best at YouTube, I am trying my best. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like because it really lets me know that I'm doing okay and there are people who are enjoying my stuff. And if you're interested at all in commissioning me, seeing some of my other artwork, I'll leave the link to my Instagram down below. That's where I post almost everything. I hope you guys have a lovely day and stay safe.